Greenland is one of the most magical and fascinating places on the planet. Our trip to the Disko Bay area at Ilulissat was without a doubt one of the most incredible experiences of 2025, and in this video I'll share some of the highlights. And oh boy, were those highlights special. So, we are back here on the workshop at Ilulissat. You are getting in here on day 2 after a first day that was just unbelievably epic. So we went to a viewpoint over 2 times, one during afternoon where we got some beautiful photos with the drone and the long lens over all the icebergs in the Disko Bay, and later at sunset where we just got a bonkers sunset with the help of the Red Sail Sailboats workshop who were sailing around among the icebergs. We of course got a few shots with those, but else we were just flying around finding interesting icebergs that we could use to photograph the sunset. Today, here on day 2, we are out photographing whales among the icebergs, and we are just like in the middle of a feeding frenzy. It's phenomenal. I have seen more whale breaches and flukes within the past hour than I've seen on all other tours I've been on collectively. That says a lot. We've seen so many whales. I almost don't have words for it. So right now, the whales seem to just take a little bit of a pause from feeding, so they're just here next to us in the water, chilling out a little bit, and it just looks phenomenal. These beautiful large whales here in the water. What makes this trip extra special is sailing around the beautiful and incredible icebergs. We usually get picked up at the hotel, and with our awesome and fast boat we can cover vast distances in the fjord quickly, giving us an enormous flexibility in exploring the icebergs. This means that whenever we spot something of interest, either from the boat or with the help of the drones, we can easily direct the boat into interesting perspectives, and with the local captains and first mates, we are always in safe hands. When photographing the icebergs, it's about looking for interesting patterns and shapes, and if possible, get some reflection photos if the wind isn't too strong. It can deliver some spectacular photos. Some photos showing a vista covering the entire iceberg with a beautiful sky and reflection taken with a wide-angle lens. Other photos of the more abstract sort, where you zoom in and fill the frame with different patterns and shapes. Sometimes you pass by icebergs that are in themselves just super spectacular, like this one with a huge arch, and this iceberg that looks like a dragon chilling in the water. We also passed by the probably most beautiful and fascinating iceberg I have ever seen. It had these complex and fascinating shapes, almost looking like melted wax or something like that. We named it Awesomeberg. We could both zoom in and fill the frame with the abstract shapes, and when doing that I always try to balance the photo and distribute the visually heavy elements somewhat equal on either side of the middle of the photo. One thing this iceberg was especially great at was displaying faces, like in this photo. But also zooming a bit out, I captured this photo where it's easy to see a face or even a skull. We also had some seagulls flying around the iceberg that worked well as both subjects and scale. Balance, scale, repeating patterns, pattern recognition, visual flow are all compositional tools I cover in my ebooks on composition. With minimal text, tons of examples, and extended EXIF data, they're super easy to read. If you're in doubt whether you want them, you can get the 3 free light versions by signing up to my newsletter. You can get the full versions either standalone or bundled up with my ebook all about light and color in landscape photography for a small discount. There's a link to it all down in the description of the video, and as always, I do need to say a massive thank you to all of you who've got them. It's because of you I can make weekly videos on everything landscape photography. So we are right now at the Eqi Glacier, and it is one of the most active glaciers in the world. We just hear cracks and rumbles all the time. We see small pieces of ice, bigger pieces of ice, slides of ice that just comes down here in the background. It's quite hard to capture even though you're ready with your long lens, and even harder to capture with the drone. So with the drones we're just flying around along the glacier edge and just finding interesting spiky pieces of the glacier that we can use in the foreground, and then we shoot back out towards the glacier fjord that we're in right here. I've also tried flying the opposite direction so that I can get that compression feeling where I'm using the long lens on the drone, then I have our boat here in the foreground, and then hopefully capture a little bit of ice falling down from the glacier. Have to have a lot of patience and just keep recording, and then you just get a longer and longer file. But it definitely looks super epic with the glacier wall here in the background. So there's also a very important part, which is safety around a glacier like this. We have to stay 1 kilometer from the edge of the glacier here. Just before we had a big calving over here in the background, and the ice is just like right now floating out into the fjord. When taking to the sky, you can also get some spectacular photos of the icebergs. One iceberg we passed by was this one with a big cave. If you were courageous enough, you could fly the drone in there and photograph back out. Although the drone is tiny compared to the iceberg, it's still super nerve-wracking. One thing is steering the drone in there, but you also have to remember that the iceberg, despite its massive size, is actually constantly moving, which means that you will have to keep controlling your drone because it's designed to keep its location relative to the GPS signal. Without constantly moving the drone with the iceberg, you risk having the iceberg hitting the drone, and that would be a bummer. However, of all the icebergs we passed by, my favorite is without a doubt this epic guy. With a couple of arches, pointy peaks, constant slush breaking off, and several smaller peninsulas, it's one of the most complex and detailed icebergs I've ever seen without it being overly messy. Finding some optimal compositions required many tries and exploring different angles. As the iceberg was as big as it was, and the wide-angle camera of the drone couldn't cover the entire field of view, all the photos I came away with are also either vertical or horizontal panoramas. had to use a few different editing techniques to get these photos done, such as merging panoramas and editing the sky and iceberg separately, so-called local editing. If you struggle with editing photos, be sure to get my editing course where I teach how I edit photos. It's designed so you can jump around in the course, but if you are a beginner, I'd recommend starting from the top. I cover everything from basic editing over masking to cleaning your photos properly, dodging and burning, working with and adding atmosphere and glow, fixing lens distortions to advanced blending of individual exposures such as time blending, focus stacking and focal length blending. You can get $45 off by using the code in the description of the video, where you'll also find the link. So we come down to the Black Beach here in Qaqortoq. And the Black Beach is also the Greenlandic Diamond Beach. So when the glacier, the big glacier, all the way out in Ilulissat, like 50 kilometers from here at least, have the big icebergs coming out from the glacier and they calve. They also move through the Disko Bay, and a lot of them hit over here at Qaqortoq on this beach. And it just gives this beautiful phenomenon of ice on a black beach as we know it also from Iceland. So right now I found myself a composition right here. You can see a nice distribution of the ice, and then I have the icebergs out here in the background. And I'm using ISO 50 f16 and a shutter speed of 0.4 seconds with my polarizing filter on. And because I'm using this relatively fast long exposure of almost half a second, then I can drag out my exposure, and whenever the waves come crashing in against me, they create these beautiful long streaks among the ice. There's just no doubt that one of the most iconic parts about Greenland are the dogs, the sled dogs. And we've just passed by a big amount of them, and there are 4 small cute puppies that we are photographing a little bit here from the roadside. We're not walking in among them. Generally, do not approach a sled dog in Greenland unless the owner says okay for it, because you never know how they're going to behave. They're quite wild dogs potentially, but these small, super cute, like they will make your heart melt. Like they are so cute. I put on the long lens 50-400, opened up the aperture completely, and then I have the animal auto detect and just continue shooting, and then I'm just photographing whenever the puppies are moving a little bit around. And yeah, it just catches the eye immediately. Fantastic autofocus lens right here. We're also going quite low so we can get a little bit of the foreground out of focus, and because of the open aperture the background will also be out of focus. Fast shutter speed 1/500th of a second, auto ISO. We had so many amazing photo opportunities on this trip. One of my absolute favorites was on the last morning, where Jeroen had spotted a couple of humpback whales from the hotel, and we got to photograph them with the drones. The whales were just chilling around in the water among the ice, probably taking a rest, so they were easy to photograph as long as they were at the surface. I got so many great straight down photos, and I also tried some lower angles and to include some of the bigger icebergs. This trip was just so productive, so even though you have already seen many photos, here follows a little montage with even more. If you want to learn how to compose your photos or how to use light to your benefit when you are photographing, be sure to get my ebooks on those topics. Likewise, if editing is something you struggle with, then I also have my 20+ hours post-processing course that'll teach you my techniques for editing photos. There are links to everything in the description of the video. I hope you enjoyed this epic trip to Western Greenland. See you next time.